Welcome back to the Secret Garden. It's me, Jamie, again, to talk about late summer planting in the garden. Most people think that once you plant in the spring or early summer, that's it, and whatever you have is what you'll harvest for the year. But you can actually plant different plants in late summer and early fall that'll be ready to harvest later in the fall. So a few of these that you can plant that we'll talk about are spinach, beets, and kohlrabi. So spinach is a nice leafy green, has tons of nutrients, can be packed into salads, can be put into smoothies if you don't want any greens in your life but you still want those nutrients. Hiding them in smoothies is the way to go. Sometimes that's what I do. But spinach does really well in cooler weather, so they like the early spring and they like fall time. So you can plant those right now. You can also plant kohlrabi. So if you don't know what kohlrabi is, we'll see how many times I can say that word. Maybe one of them will come across as right. We'll throw a picture up so you can look it up and do some research. But it's kind of like a mix between a turnip and a radish. That's how it tastes. But it grows a little bit differently. The plant that the part of the plant that you harvest is actually above ground, whereas radishes and turnips, the main root part is underground. You can do a ton of different things with kohlrabi. You can put it into salads and eat it raw. You can puree it and make it into soups, or you can even roast it. And then lastly, and what we'll plant today, are beets. So I have our beet seed packet. Seed packets are really helpful because they give you directions on the back, and they'll tell you when you can plant, how far away to plant, when to harvest, whether they like a lot of water or just a little bit, and whether they can handle shade. So beets actually can handle part shade, so they're good if you have some areas in your yard that are shady and sunny, and they also do really well in cool weather. So when planting beets, you're going to soak the beet seeds for 12 hours to promote germinating, so to promote the seeds from actually starting to grow. And then in this area, we cleared this out so that it's clean, ready to go. We will plant our beets about 4 inches apart, and that'll give them room to grow because we're going to let them get a little bit bigger and we can store them throughout for a few months in the winter. Beets are one of my favorite vegetables. I like to eat beets raw, put them in coleslaw. Pickled beets is really good, and one of my favorite ways to eat it is roasted beets. So with our beet, we'll take a seed and we'll just put our finger in about 1 inch or 2 deep, plop the seed in, and then cover it up. And we'll continue to do that throughout this bed. And then once we're done, we'll make sure that we water it so that they have plenty of water, and then we'll see what happens, and hopefully we'll see them start to sprout in a few weeks. There's many more plants that you can plant right now in the late summer, early fall. Feel free to Google it, see what else you can find and what you're interested in. Well, I hope you are having a successful garden this year, and happy gardening. Bye!